Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome on in. Do we have audio? I think we have audio. We do not have audio. Or do we? Okay. No, it's going. It's going. Just taking it a minute. Cool. All right, we're good. Sorry about that. Aloha, everybody. Wonderful, wonderful. Welcome on in. All right, hold up. Just got a text from my modeling director. That's one thing we're going to talk about here. I'm going to try and play some old school RuneScape in the background. I've tried to optimize the processes, so hopefully it runs smoothly. We'll find out. Hang on just one second. Today's going really well. This may not necessarily be the longest stream ever, but we'll make it happen. All right, so let's go ahead and talk a little bit about what we have been up to. And while I do that, I'm going to try and do window capture. Light, there we go. Perfect. So we're going to do. We'll just go ahead and put that up here. Perfect. Okay. Awesome. So we're going to play some old school over there. I'm going to try and figure out exactly how best to put this. Now we'll move over to this side. Then we can expand the window. Having to test these things on the fly a bit. Okay. Perfect. So here's how my day is going. Let's just, there we go. Perfect. That's what we're looking to do. All right. So, here is what has been going on in my life. First off, today and yesterday have been pretty good lifts. I do have a new phone with a new phone number, so I got the 808. We going with that. Have not switched over officially yet because I am looking and waiting to get my phone case. Should be coming in the next few days. I just don't want to risk damaging it before that. Second off, the wonderful, is Zepp in here? Hopefully Zepp is. If he isn't, let me know, and I'll say it again later. The wonderful Zepp has sent me a ton of really cool stickers. So I'm going to be putting these on my bike and everything. Like one's real nice, this little font. It's BullMuscle. One's is another really good one. They're like gig 'em. Got because I know I've been pumping that shit. I still believe in that stock. I still like the stock. One of my favorites is this. Is the Yes logo. So I may ask him to make me a bigger one of those because he's got these really cool labels and like Take Command, which I think is a reference to the Commanders football team, but it's cool enough to where don't have to worry about it too much. Either way, really liked it. My day's going really well so far. So yesterday I hit a seriously difficult super squats workout, 20 reps at 315. Very, 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 very painful, but I did it. Let's see if we can shrink this down just a touch. Perfect. Okay. Just gotta. There we go. Now we're cooking. Now we are cooking. So we can just go like there we go. All right, and then we'll go like that and like that. All right, that's about the best I can do there. Sorry, just trying to get this all set up properly. Okay, so where were we? We were talking about yesterday hit really, really hard on squats, worked out really well. I felt like I hit 315 for 21 reps on squats, and I could feel it in my right hamstring, like it was really tight, and as a result, I failed actually on my front squats a couple sets later, which I usually don't fail on front squats, but just my right hamstring was not having it. And that would have been fine and good, except for that I went and biked all the way to Waikiki and back up home. So ended up doing 25 miles of, granted it's e-biking, but usually averaging 15 to 16 miles an hour there. And I reckon, I mean, from a caloric standpoint, e-biking at 15 to 16, I do most of the pedaling, you know, and the way I see it is it's probably about equivalent to cycling at 12 miles an hour, which for me, I believe, I did the math on this, it burns roughly 500 calories an hour. So if I went 25 miles, I'd say 90 minutes to 2 hours. So we're talking, you know, close to 1,000 calories burned there. The, you know, weightlifting workout was probably another 400 to 500, so talking 1,500. And yesterday, I even got to touch the boat. Who touches the boats? I touch the boats. There's actually here in Pearl Harbor, we're doing something called RIMPAC right now, and RIMPAC stands for it's these war games, right? It's basically training exercises for the NATO-aligned and Western-aligned bloc of countries who wish to participate in sort of training and military exercises, things like emergency exercises or combat. And one of the aircraft carriers from the American fleet was docked in, and as one of the workers out there at Pearl, we got to go and tour it. So it was really cool, which, you know, as a nuclear engineer, nerding out over the reactor that is powering that big bad boy, because, you know, right, a lot of our fleet in the United States is nuclear powered, and it's either you know, submarines or aircraft carriers, and there's those I mean, it's a magnitude difference in size. It's really cool. So I'm definitely enjoying that. But yeah, we had a whole mess of good stuff going on in here. What else were we doing? Okay, I got a bond pouch. We'll do that later. Ooh, is it super crunchy for y'all as well? Oh, hold up. I gotta turn that off for just a moment. There we go. There we go. Now we can do that. What I was going to do is the Pride event, because it is the end of Pride Month, and if I don't do it soon, I'm going to miss out. So I figured I'd do that sort of in the background over here. Maybe just minimize the window a touch. So we'll do that. Go. I think it's over in Falador, so I just need a couple law runes. There we go. 1, 2, 3. And I think it's a water. So we'll go do that. Nice. It's a little crunchy, but it's fine. All right. Well, that's good. How's the audio? Is the audio still clear, at least? So we've got, so that's been something that's been going on. As a result, like, there's military personnel from, like, I think RIMPAC's got something like 20 different countries. I mean, from Singapore, Canada, the Philippines, Mexico, India, you name it. A lot of big countries are participating. It's a lot of fun. Audio's good for me. Thank you. Appreciate that. Thanks, Talio. Kit Breaker. Alright. Glad it chose mine as well. Muscle Bowl, by the way. Very nice to meet you. What brings you here? But glad you asked me. I'll ever dream to be one of the White Knights. Sir Kit Breaker. Ha! Circuit Breaker. Okay, that's pretty funny. I like that. The Sir commands respect and sounds quite manly. You want to be Circuit Breaker? Any electrical engineer loves that as a joke. Hardly set up, falling at the first obstacle, no equipment to call my own, heavy chest for hours, and I'm puffed out. Worse, I don't even know exactly what's in them. Sounds like you might need some help. Yeah, let's do the Pride event. Help you out. White Knights, want to make a first impression, need to look at the part. Switch of Sir Willy-Nilly. You're right, I've not heard of any Sir Willy-Nilly. Hey, Kurzov, good to see you. Welcome on in. Haven't seen you in a hot minute. Good to see you, man. So he needs a So he needs armor and a beard. Let's see, talk about the beard. You're trying to grow a beard. Hey, I can't grow a beard. I'm not gonna hate on this guy for it. All right, so what else has happened this week? Gosh, okay, so I've more or less settled into my apartment, as you all have seen. Obviously, the blue masking tape as a way to hang up my flags is not ideal, but I don't have a better option at the moment, so we're gonna figure that one out. Let's see, do you have any ideas? Wait a few years? It's a long time to find out there was a better way. Fallback option. Let's see, wear a fake one? I consider that. It's very itchy and not all that convincing. I want to be true to myself. Would just feel wrong. That's the witch for a hair growth potion. Seen the adverts. I'm pretty sure that is a scam. I don't want to be one of those people that fall for them. That's fair. Could visit the hairdresser. Remove the hair. You'd be surprised. Technology has come a long way. It's funny. 3M command strips work great. For a flag, though? Yeah, I should probably grab me some command strips, honestly. You know, I'm going to write that down. I can probably pop into town a little bit later today and do that. Also, I'm sipping protein, so I need to add that. A couple other things related to the modeling. I have got, let's see, strips. Cool. I mean, I just figured because it's like fabric that it might not stick to the fabric very well, but I don't know. Let me just turn out. Maybe I can get you an appointment. All right. Anyway, it should be okay. I know Hosenl. It's not even that. It's that this is concrete behind me, as is the case in a lot of town, buildings and structures in Hawaii. A lot of it is made of concrete because wood will rot and metal will rust. So concrete is very popular for buildings here. Let's see, talk to the hairdresser. Let's see, do you offer appointments? An acquaintance leader growing a beard. Book your friend in. Kit breaker. All right. So we'll go talk to Kit. Go ahead and let my clan know I'm live. Okay, so a few other things. I got talking with my modeling director today, and I think he's going to show up fairly soon, but I've got a clothes modeling shoot coming up in Manila in the Philippines in September. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Then I've got because normally I would just use like a push pin to push it, to hang the flags, but can't really do that with concrete. It doesn't work. You need nails and a hammer, and at that point you're putting holes into the wall. So let's see. All right, he's going to get the beard. That's good. We're just gonna. It's really helpful. Went through a few brochures, looked at my face structure. I went for a different hairstyle. Low maintenance, springs back after taking the helmet off. Looks good, boosts his confidence. All right, so, I can travel internationally now. Yes, I can. Hey, there's Zep. Okay, we gotta, Zep, I just want to say thank you so much for all the stickers, and I've already used the mug you sent me. I'm gonna probably put, some of those will go on the mug, and some of those will go on the bike, so I'm excited. There may be a few more I ask from you on that one. But yeah, this is from Grocery Store Risk. God, this is a 2.5-year-old meme you're referencing here. That's wild, isn't it crazy? But Petite Trianon, good to see you. Talio, oh, you're going to bed? Shoot, it's not even 1 in the afternoon here yet. Y'all Europeans must be, it's getting late. So, yeah, I'm really appreciative of that. Thank you so much, Steph. Good morning, Neum there. So yeah, I've got a modeling shoot in September. That's gonna be really fun. I've got a runway show coming up in August, so I need to continue on the cut. Here's where we're at right now. So this morning I weighed in at 215.7. I think at 212 to 210 I'd be sitting pretty. I just don't quite have the definition they were looking for yet, but they looked at me 1 second. They saw, okay, 6'3", he's already got tons of muscles on him. He's gonna be good. Have you considered depositing your items in the bank? They wouldn't take them. He's trying to pick the lock. Let's see. There are modeling agencies. Yes, there are modeling agencies in Hawaii. Well, this is actually an independent director I'm working with. He's got friends in New York. He's got friends in LA. He's got friends in Manila because he's originally from the Philippines. So first gig will probably be with, after the runway show, I'll probably get more. But first, I've already done a few shoots, but there will be a lot more stuff coming in through the Philippines. So I'm excited. Ooh, I forgot to turn my fan on to the rotate setting. Important. Because I can show you all this. I've got my clothes here on a makeshift drying rack. I've got an actual drying rack coming in, but it hasn't showed up yet, so this is the best. This is the best we've got to work with. Okay, so right about there. Perfect. Okay, sorry about that. Asking me to pick a lock. And we need to attempt to open the chest. Your neighbor who? There's this issue where people that go to the gym are never happy. I don't get that. I'm quite happy. All right, so we gotta try adjusting some pins. Okay, let's try 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Yeah, nothing there. Let's try 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, so the 5 is right. Let's try 4, 5, 6, 5, 4. Ooh, that worked out well. Okay, so let's try 4, 4, 5, 5, 4. Ooh, that's close. 4, 6, 5, 5, 4. Huh. Okay, so we've got 5 was blue, which was close. Well, we've tried 2, we've tried 3, we've tried 4, we've tried 5, we've tried 6. It's got to be 1. Hey, we got it. All right. Evening, Big Red. How you doing? How's the weekend going? So far, it's going fantastic. Yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you very much there, Petite. The Baskin one's an even older meme. I found the Oreo shake clip and it gave me ideas. Oh my god, I forgot about that. Yeah, I saw that. I saw that Yugo one. That was pretty funny. I've got a couple ideas actually that I may ask you for. Definitely really love the Yes logo. I may ask for a bigger one of those. I may ask for a strong like bull one. I may ask for a. What was the other one I was gonna ask for? Like a nuclear trefoil. Like the radiation hazard sign. That would be pretty cool. Try it out right now. Dad's old steel plate armor. Oh wow, it's a letter. Here we go. Racked about to watch 1776 the musical. Modeling's an interesting industry. Well, so I'm doing it as a side hobby, so it's not that big of a deal. Like, I'm not relying on it for income. I'm doing this because it's fun, and once it stops being fun, I'll stop doing it. But just be careful when I got in the modeling industry. Let's just say I was a bit desperate to make and wound up in a room with some creepy directors. Now I stick to mainstream studios. Oh, you're a model too there, Neum? Good to see you, yeah. Modeling's, it's definitely been fun to, try doing, a couple shoots with a couple scenes. I do actually have some modeling shoot pictures. If you'd like to see them, let me know. I do sell them on my Discord, so check that out. !Discord in the comment section. I was meant to be read by now. Let's see. Dearest Kit, hope you find this eventually. I'm sneaking in with the armor I'm packing for you. Firstly, you might want to give all that stuff a polish. Your dad may not have used it in a while, and I'm pretty sure it'll be dusty. Money pouch and your stuff. Packed a few snacks. Keep your departure secret from your dad. Apprehensive of his reaction. I want to reassure you. He loves you way more than he lets on. The other chest I gave you is actually from him, and the code to it represents his feelings towards you. We'll miss you, but this is your chance to go out and find yourself in this world. You'll always be welcome home, but I get the feeling you might be a while before you're back. Never stop chasing your dreams. You've got a good heart and some decent armor to protect it with. Maybe you'll look to replace it sooner rather than later. Kit's a great name too. Can't wait to hear the stories of Kit Breaker doing something heroic. Just don't be too brave all the time. Well, love you lots, Mom. P.S. The dog misses you too. Sounds like your parents are actually really supportive. Yeah, should put on that armor. Looking sharp. Let's see what we got here. See, there was your dad's old armor. Oh, check it out. So he's got his old steel plate armor. Hey, good for him. Let's see. Viewers were worried about the damage the armor could do to you. That chest plate is pretty heavy after all. Never considered that. Let's see here. We got... I'm not a model. I didn't end up doing anywhere. I'm still trying to figure out what you want to do with life. I gotcha. Sounds good. Try to work those ideas you gave. Yeah, Zep, don't worry about that. Ask me about that on Discord so I don't forget. I definitely have some ideas. Flight costs at random places. I checked Honolulu. They're only $400 in August. That's expensive. I mean, it's not that bad. Depends on where it's from. Let's see. He needs the weaponry. So we need to try and open the heavy chest. Oh, no, we need to open the scuff chest. I think this one is going to be Pride, because I saw the highlighted letters, and I have a sneaking suspicion, so let's try that. Yeah. I mean, come on, that one was obvious. Dad's old sword and shield. 400 from Montana? Okay, yeah, never mind. That is actually very affordable. Let's go to the White Knights. So Roger belongs taking them with us. We'll leave them here. Some of the guards to keep an eye on them. Why not? Tell you what. Come back as soon as he said yes and join me in the castle courtyard. Alright. So we need to go to the castle courtyard. Nice. Alright, well, while we do that. That's yeah, Montana. I'm sure it routes you through LAX or something. There's no way, because flights to Honolulu usually only go through Seattle, Anchorage, San Francisco, and LAX. There aren't that many others from the West Coast. There are some from the bigger interior ports, like you might get one from Denver, maybe Phoenix, but that's about it. Usually there aren't that many from like Dallas or Atlanta. Definitely not from the East Coast. The East Coast, you're going to have a stop somewhere on the West Coast usually. So let's talk their circuit breaker. Wants to enroll. Okay. Pamphlet, joining process for improving recruits. 5 years time. This has been a lot longer than that for me. That's funny, because he's been a squire since like 2001 when the game was released. Let's see, is there no way to accelerate the process? What else is going on I wanted to talk about? Oh, it's bike week. It's bike month coming up in July here, so I'm super stoked about that. We're gonna get a great big. We're gonna have there's a bunch of like really cool ride events and cycling advocacy events we're gonna be doing here. One's like a sort of a bike friendly night in, I think it's Kaka'ako. So I'm gonna go down there and hang out with a bunch of the other people from HBL. So I'm pretty stoked about that. Oh, we gotta go back. We gotta go up and meet Sir Amic. His name is Ceramic Vars, I believe. If you say it with a British accent, it's Ceramic Vase. which I think that might be the joke. Yeah, I doubt you're getting... There we go. Yep, ceramic vase. Ceramic. Hello, friend. Do you have any quests for me to do? Nothing I can think of at the moment. Oh, I guess I gotta talk to Kid up here. Leader of the White Knights. Like to enlist. New recruit. Talk to the squire. Become initiate. Heroic feat. Defeating a dangerous criminal or performing a critical service for our order. Have you done anything that you think would qualify? A long way to be here. I've never defeated a criminal. Couldn't even tell my dad to his face that I was leaving home. Path to being heroic takes many shapes. Keep looking and come back to me if you find it. Thank you, sir. Can't believe I genuinely thought I'd just waltz in here and get into the White Knights right away. Walk of shame. I'll get back to my things to take this armor off. I'm not big enough to fill it. Hey, don't give up quite yet. I'm sure we can find a way. Despite my failure, you've been a big help. I'll see myself out now. And he's gone. One sure thing, he's very good at running off. I should go and catch him up. Alright. Future humor is super complex. So 50 years ago, we had intercontinental foreign train travel. No, you have no idea how much engineering effort would be required to dig a tunnel underneath the Gulf of Mexico from Miami to Cancun. That will never be cost efficient. No, that's... I'm not trying to rain on your parade there, but that's just silly. Honestly, I feel like that's more of a shitpost than anything. Hey, JJ, good to see you. Welcome on in. Okay, so I'm trying to think what else I was trying to talk about this weekend. Oh yeah, let's talk about the elephant in the room. A&M baseball, huh? Boy, managed to go win the first game in the College World Series final, lose game 2, and then lose game 3 by 1 run. And then literally less than 24 hours after that, the coach got poached by Texas of all teams. And 11 players have hit the transfer portal. So I'm done with being into Aggie anything, or really sports in general. What's the point? I feel like I was reading Your Money or Your Life, right? And it talks about life energy, and it talks about, what is your time really worth? And I did the math on this, and my time works out to roughly $33 an hour. Who am I kidding? There's nothing heroic about what I'm doing. Already seems you've come a long way. Oh, we gotta motivate him. Okay, I'm about this. But there's practicality and physically possible direction. I mean, it's possible, sure, but it would have tons of problems in terms of pressure protection, leak penetration, emergency response. In theory, it's possible, but it's not realistic. Anyway, what was I saying? As far as, hey Bowser, good to see you too. Yeah, so with college sports and just sports in general, I did the math on what my time's worth, and it's roughly $33 an hour, and that's including, that takes off things like taxes and work expenses. And it's if I sit down and watch a 4-hour baseball game, I've just wasted $135 worth of life energy on something that just put me in a bad mood. So what's the point? I've seen my Nationals. They won a World Series a few years back. The Caps won it a few years back, and I remember how great the joy of that was, but I can't honestly say now, having watched my team lose it in the the biggest game of the year, I can't honestly sit here and say that it was worth it. I don't think the ups are worth the downs, so why bother? Let's see, maybe it's worth rethinking your approach. Let's see. You've got to let yourself grow into that armor. That, or I should have a reason to get my own armor rather than these hand-me-downs. One day you could be a fine swordsman. You're saying I'm not already? I didn't mean it like that. I'm just pulling your leg. I know I've got some training to do. You haven't seemed like the quitting type so far. Wait, really? Look at you. You're stood here, fully armed and ready to go. You should stay. You brought a lot with you. Only got most of my life in these containers. See, past you believed in this. Present you should keep at it. That's a mood. I mean, I came out here to Hawaii with like 2 suitcases. Do you think I'll ever make it as a white knight? Of course you will. Only if you don't give up, though. With your belief, I don't think I can give up. Thanks, though. I'm feeling a lot better now. You better keep that armor on. Wouldn't try to take it off properly. What am I going to do now? I can't wait 5 years to start training. I don't know. Maybe it's time for one of your mom's snacks. I can do a crunchy right now. It's just another on the floor, another letter. It's my dad's handwriting. Read it. Let's see, my dear son, I know it's always been hard for me to express my feelings. We've not always seen eye to eye, and I'm the first to admit I've not always been the most understanding. It's hard for an old codger like me to change. You know what they say about dogs and new tricks. But I love you, and I know you can do anything you put your mind to. I know you've been waiting to walk in my footsteps for the longest time. You don't need to do this to make me proud. I already am. Maybe it's time we all stop trying to see you as a younger version of your mom and I and start seeing you as yourself. Good luck on your journey to find who you really are. Meeting people will expand your horizons and help you progress. I know meeting you changed my life. Meanwhile, I will look forward to the day where you've come home and I get to see the awesome person you've become. Love, Dad. I really needed to hear that. We've not had the best history. I wish you could have said this face to face. It's already a huge step forward, but for now, let's focus on you. You're right, it's time to move on. Maybe he does have a point. Meeting new people will help. I don't know who, though. I know a person who is great at helping people find their true self. Oh? Yes, Gilbert, just outside of Iraq. He's met a lot of people who's quite wise. We should go and meet him. Wait, I know what happens now. You're going to run off and leave me behind to join you later. Well, I suppose I do that. I just want to get on with it, you know? Maybe I do too. Could we go there together? Okay, then are you ready to go? Yeah, let's go. Thank you very much, JJ. That's very nice. I appreciate that. You were right, Muscle Bull. It is a lot nicer than running off on your own. So let's talk to Gilbert. And Gilbert's the one who has the, the flowers and such. I love that RuneScape does this every year for their Pride events. It's nice, Brought you someone who seems to be in need of your advice. Name is Kit Breaker. Nice to meet you, young Kit. What brings you to my meadow? I'm an aspiring white knight. My dream is on hold until I can perform a truly heroic feat, except I'm not that heroic. I don't really know who I am. I think the answer to one's existence is a difficult one to answer for anyone. Without a goal or drive, one can lose oneself. It's true. I personally have done a lot of soul searching before realizing that my purpose was here in bringing about color to this world. My latest project, for example, is to try and create a refuge where people can rest, ponder life and themselves. I want a place where people can visit in peace and calm without fear or judgment. Right now I'm in talks with some leprechauns for a piece of land. I am doing pretty well, JJ. It's been really nice. I need to... getting a phone call from my bro right now, and I love my bro, but I'm live, so I can't do that. Just gonna send that to him. There we go. If everything goes well, I should be able to start working on it in the next year. It won't be a quick job. Sounds like a beautiful vision. Wish a place existed a few years ago when I was less in control of my life. Back then, I would have loved having someone understanding like you to talk to. This project needs to happen, and I want you to help it make it come true. Actually, I think a future Glade would greatly benefit from a protector, and I think you would be perfect for the job. Hey, Sailor, thank you very much. I appreciate that, man. I have been hitting the weights hard. I'm not as defined as I want to be yet, but we are getting there. The cut is slowly moving in the right direction. I have had a devil of a time trying to balance the increased cost of groceries here with trying to maintain a good macro profile, and it's hard. You've gotta. There are places where my expenses are just gonna be higher here, and I'm having to just learn to live with that. I think the future Glade, so you'd be perfect for the job. Me? Are you sure? I'm not actually a knight, Where there's a will, there's a way. For me, you already embody everything a knight stands for. I will not let you down. What a knight needs? A cape. A few items of clothing. Kindly pick some of my flowers. Maybe I can make it a cape. Flowers here speak to me. Won't I just crush them trying to pick flowers and all that armor? Alright. Yeah, we'll pick them. We pick some flowers. Alright, let's pick some violet ones. and some indigo ones. Interesting factoid. Oh, you're talking about the Neanderthals. Yeah, Homo sapiens, we did kill them off, I think. Got some orange flowers, and we got some red flowers. Oh, that's cool. They got the colors in the text. Let's see what we got for... Oh, wow. Hey, look at that. Oh, wow, that's cool. It's got pride flag on the inside. All right. We also mated with them. That's true. There are some species, or there are some people, some humans that have more Neanderthal blood than others in them, but it's all less than like 1%. Met with Gilbert, just west of Iraq, was planning to remodel a glade as a meeting point for those who want to find their true self. Vision called to me as something I want to dedicate my time and life to. I offered my services, and he knighted me circuit breaker, protector of the glade. Gilbert, you say? I know of him and his project. I've been meaning to support his endeavor. If he trusts you to help him with the glade, then maybe I can offer support by admitting you among the White Knights and assign you to work on there on our behalf. On this occasion, this would come with standard issue armor should you wish to represent the White Knights in your new role. This would act as the start of your training. Nothing would make me happier. Then please take this armor and wear it with pride. Send me regular reports at your convenience. Hey, look at that. He's got White Knight armor now. Can't believe it. Well, this worked out rather well, didn't it? I'm so happy. I think the next step would be to return my belongings and take them to Gilbert, since I was spending my time there from now on. Should I accompany you? Why not? Alright, let's go. Imagine humans like birds, a kind of cool species of human. No VOD for me this time, finally here. Hey, Yummy, good to see you. Welcome on in. Love having it. Just need to move all this. Hearing 2 sets of armor. How many strength levels will I get this time? It's all part of the journey, isn't it? I wish I could get strength levels carrying heavy items around. In real life, you can. In real life, I guess my strength level would be somewhere in the 80s. That'd be my guess. Either way, I used the night reporting system to let Gilbert know of my success in joining the White Knights. I thanked him for his help, and he sent a rather extensive reply. Anything of note, or was he as happy for you as I am? I haven't actually made my way through everything here yet. However, he did ask that you go and speak to him. I'll head there now. It feels odd to leave you behind for once. Alright, so we gotta head over to Gilbert. So we'll do that. You think it'd be in the 90s? I feel like the trouble is it's different, right? If you take steroids, it's going to be a different 1 to 99 scale than if you didn't. I'm going to grab a little bit of water real quick. Excuse me. I've got all my cooking stuff too. I've been cooking again. It's been really nice. Got a rice cooker, pressure cooker, a really nice kind of deep pot. Like it's like a not quite a wok. It's like a picture a wok, but with instead of it being kind of a small bottom and gradual curves, it's like a flat bottom and then kind of a small vertical curve. Just made myself some dinner. Oh, the stream's going pretty well here. We're just chilling. It's a good time. A Saturday afternoon. We're going over to the Glade because we're doing the Pride event right now, which I love RuneScape that does that. Let's see here. So go talk to Gilbert. Right then, Gilbert. Kit mentioned you wanted me to stick my head in for a chat. Yes, your work with the young knight has been inspiring me. Inspiring you? Quite. I'm sure you're aware that I can't get out and about as much as you, so I've put together a cape for you to wear on your adventures. It makes use of the magic of flowers to change color. Kit is out there with theirs, but they will be back here shortly. With you, the cape has a chance to go around the world. Once they're back, we can get started on some early training. Fantastic. What sort of work will you have them doing? Just odd jobs, small favors, that kind of thing. At least until we have land to work on. They should be here before too long. If you wanted to check in with them before you go off adventuring again. You know what? I might just do that. You should be wearing your cape. Nuh-uh. Circuit breaker, nearly forgot to give it to you. Wear an extra shirt with good reason. Wear them with pride. Well, that was nice of him. And I got 2 cakes. Got a rainbow cape, a rainbow crown shirt, and... oh, that's cool. Oh, I can't really see it from here. Change style. But look, I love that. You can do pride, you can do non-binary, asexual, all that fun stuff. I don't really care for the design because you can't see it very well. It just looks like a black t-shirt. That's kind of unfortunate because I'm not taking my skill cape off. And I'm not wearing that, so... oh well. Hello there, Sir Kit. Good to see you. How are you getting on as a white knight? Just patrolling the flowers. He took them home. Well, I didn't want to clutter this restful meadow with my things. I had a chat with my parents. They couldn't be more proud. Can't thank you enough. Don't be a stranger. Well, that's good. Hello, Gilbert. See what he's got to say. Anything happening around here? No, I was there. Super crowded. I was at the one in the colorful outfit. The one in the colorful outfit. Yeah, we were all in that. I remember that last year. Alright, that was cool. I'm destroying the rainbow cape because I do not want to risk losing my smithing cape. This is way, I'm sorry, my fashion scape is so simple, but I must have the cape that gives me an emote. Gotta have it. How's the heat in Hawaii in the summer? When was the last time you streamed RuneScape? It's been a minute. Honestly, I'm quite pleased with how it's going. I think this is going to be the setup for it. Because I feel like it's a lot less intrusive. You know, it's cool. You can sort of see what I'm doing in the background, but it's not super critical unless, like, we're doing intense combat, which we're not. Let's see, all current previous Pride event rewards have been unlocked at Diongo and the Drainer Village. Well, that's great. Cool. So we'll deposit these cakes in here for now. We'll grab a hammer and some runite bars. We'll do a little smithing while we talk. The heat in Hawaii in the summer, it's okay. The weather here doesn't really change. The highs are between 80 and 90 degrees always. The lows are between 60 and 75 degrees always. And that's how it is. Like right now, like I don't even have air conditioning. I just leave my apartment open. Right now, let's see. It is 79 degrees in my apartment. It's maybe in the low 80s outside. The sun is very intense, so I do have to be worried about sunburns, but I've got a couple long sleeve surf shirts, and I wear sunblock. I try to get the environmentally friendly, reef friendly stuff because I don't want to damage the coral reefs. But yeah, that's pretty cut and dried there. Yeah, the weather's great. Apparently in the winter it does rain more, which, because I get around with a bike, may pose a bit of a challenge, but hopefully I can find a carpooling group to start with at that point. Should work out really well if I can. It's burning up here in Cali the last couple weeks. Was it humid or is the sea breeze nice? Oh, it's very nice. It's not humid like the deep south. And even if it were, like 85 ain't shit, you know. I think, let's see. What is, you know what, I'll give you a weather report right here. Current weather, Honolulu, Hawaii. The high today is going to be 86. That's 30 degrees C for my European audience. The current temp is 84. It's 50% humidity. It's altogether just very, very, very nice. The real feel is 90, which is just bang on excellent. So it's warm, it's pleasant, it's nice. The low tonight's going to be 74. The week ahead, it's going to be partly cloudy to cloudy with highs ranging between 85 and 87 degrees and lows ranging between 75 and 77 degrees. So it's 80, it's nice. And I've learned to sleep in 80 degree weather because I don't have an air conditioner and I don't want to pay the money to get one. Fans help a lot, honestly. If you're doing 80 degree weather and you're just chilling like in, you're relaxing in bed, like you're not burning shit tons of calories, you're not having a huge thermal output. So in general, it's very nice, very calm. So yeah, it's pretty good. But let me turn back here. Yeah, I heard it's funny. I've heard there's been a heat wave across pretty much the entire continental U.S. And so every time I've been in a group chat where people are bitching about the weather, all I respond with is, "Oh, the weather changed? I haven't noticed." Because I'm a stinker. I'm a troll. Any events in South Carolina you're sad to miss? There in my town, yeah, I would go to. There was a parking garage that was fairly high up. You go to the top level and watch the fireworks. You can see them from Evans, Georgia, Augusta, and then the ballpark. But I think the fireworks should be pretty good here. I've already found an amazing new thinking spot. It's up at the top of a crater, so I can I get views of the entire harbor, all the way to Evaside and the mountains over there, Pearl City, Waipahu, Aiea, and then if I go to the other side, I can see Diamond Head and the town, and Kalihi in the industrial area, and like Sand Island and all that stuff. It's 74 and beautiful there in Montana. Yeah, the Montana's really nice in the summer. At least it's stable. I'm from an arid area in the oceans, the nights and morning are really cold and the afternoons are really hot. Yeah, no, the weather is literal perfection. You cannot do better than weather in Hawaii. I'm convinced of that. It's just, I can feel that breeze coming in every so often. I have the fan rotating to dry off my clothes, and every so often it comes over here. It just feels so good. Oh, we've got the mysterious old man. Oh, hey, a sapphire. Nice. City of LA is like one big greenhouse. You got breezes coming in. Oh yeah, LA is interesting. Some parts of it, the closer you get to the coast, the nicer the weather is, and the closer you get to the coast, the more horrendous. Dickhead in a Challenger. There's nothing I could really do about that. Sorry, y'all. There's only like two things I can't stand about this apartment that kind of suck. The first is that you get really loud cars, especially at like 10 or 11 at night. Or mopeds, and because like it's just these kind of like little twist turn windows. Just to see if I can show you all this. You can sort of see it's just like those little slats. Even if they're fully closed, they do not do a very good job of. They do not do a particularly good job of sound deadening, so it's like there's nothing I can do about that. And then the other downside is because I'm a couple floors up, the great news is I don't have to deal with insects very much. The bad news is that, oh my god, in the morning, the birds are my alarm clock. Like this, I no longer need this for an alarm clock. It's just an absolute madhouse in terms of birds. They wake me up reliably. Now, I have found with earplugs, I sleep through it, which is great. So I do that on the weekends, but it's perfect, honestly, because right now they get me up at about 4:55, which is when I'm normally getting up anyway. Feels kind of natural, you know. Another reason not to own a car in Hawaii. Exactly. Okay, so so far I have put almost 700 miles on my e-bike. I have, in 6 weeks' time, I've already probably saved several $100s over the cost of a car, and that includes the amount of money I had to spend on my U-Haul one day, which, to be fair, I could not have gotten that futon, the dresser over there, this desk that I've got on, the bed frame, the lamps. I could not have gotten all of that with a car anyway. It wouldn't have fit. At least any car I would have bought, because I would not have bought like a minivan. Why would I do that? I'm one guy. So the U-Haul worked out great. Funny, I have to do those kind between 11 p.m. and 2 a.m. outside. Momo9678, welcome on in. Why is your name BullMuscle? This is a great question. I do get it fairly often. So a long time ago, my name was related to my fanhood of Texas A&M and the fact that I went to school there. I wanted to rebrand because I wanted to emphasize what I talk about on this channel. BullMuscle is the name I chose for a combination of reasons. One of the big ones is that when I psych myself up for a really heavy set, I'll say strong like bull. Strong like bull. Come on, let's go. Strong like bull. You know how Ronnie Coleman would say lightweight? Lightweight? You know what I mean? For me, it's strong like bull. It just works. Other reasons. I kind of have a similar temperament to bovines in the sense that, you know, in general, I'm pretty chill. But, like, if you piss me off and I see red, I'm going to break something, or I need to exert myself physically immediately, or something will go wrong. Like, it's just kind of like that. Don't piss me off, you know? Another reason is that I talk about finances and stocks. Y'all can see the financial independence counter, which is kind of irrelevant at this point. I'm basically already financially independent. I just couldn't stay here in Hawaii if I wanted to, you know? I would need to go. Oh, it's Evil Bob. Let's talk to him. He's not interested in me. That's a pity. I like the Evil Bob events. But like, if I wanted to go and be financially independent, I could travel the world. The trouble is, if I wanted to be financially independent in Hawaii, no, I couldn't do that yet. I would need more money. So there's pros and cons to that, but it is what it is. Hate to kind of dine and dash on you. Zep, dude, thank you so much for the stickers. You're totally cool. Let's talk on Discord later about a couple others, because I would be interested in that. Yeah, just let's talk on Discord before you do that, okay? Because I have some specific ideas. A couple other reasons I've changed my name to BullMuscle. The other is that I don't believe in astrology, but I am a Taurus, so it's just kind of like a little cherry on the sundae. And the other one is, I mean, this is an 18-plus channel, so I feel like I can talk about this. There are other reasons downstairs the name Bull might apply. Did you solve your Costco haul dilemma since you only have a bike? Yes, I've already got some panniers on the bike, which means I can buy some staples there. Costco delivers. Yeah, you have to pay more, but even paying more for Costco to deliver is still wildly cheaper than owning a car. Plus, I mean, talk about the convenience. As I get more friends here, I will probably be able to carpool with them to go to Costco, because everybody goes to Costco here. It's kind of a necessity in terms of keeping grocery costs down here on the island. So whenever that happens, I'll just try and hitch a ride, offer to pay for gas, stuff like that. So then, make it worth their time, and it works out well for me as well. Again, there are ways to solve out the ownership of, not owning a car. I could use Zipcar. There are hourly rentals and daily rentals here, which I could still do. For instance, I have a friend who rents Teslas out at $100 a day. I could absolutely do that, and that's still so much cheaper than owning a car. Just as an example. I could do, like, there's that. I could do all sorts of good alternatives, but you get the idea. The way I solved it the first time was to pick up some furniture, I already had gotten a U-Haul, and I just made a Costco run with that U-Haul, because why wouldn't I? Buzzing Ranger, good to see you. Can't wait till all cars are electric. Looks like my modeling director's headed to work straight. You sure? Dang, that sucks. I was hoping my modeling director was going to come here. Gallery needs coverage. Try to get down there today. If I can't, I'll see you tomorrow. There we go. Well, it looks like modeling director isn't coming by, which means I can't stick around here. But I do want to go to the library before it closes at 4, and maybe even the post office. I'll probably have to do that on Monday, because I don't have the cell phone cover yet, and there's still some chores I need to do with that, so. Yeah, Tesla is in Hawaii. Can't wait till cars are electric. I mean, I love a good car engine note. There's a difference between that. Like, you can do that on the highway, no problem. But, like, you're doing that in a residential area, especially if it's late at night. Like, you got a fart can Civic or whatever, like, fuck you. Honestly, the ones that piss me off the most are the mopeds, because they, like, at least with a muscle car or, you know, like a nice, like a 2JZ Toyota, it sounds nice, or an Italian car. But, like, with those little ratty two-stroke mopeds, they just sound like, you know, it's just farting noises. But no, I greatly, I don't, if I lived here, even though electric prices are very high, you'd have to be insane to buy a gas powered car here. Like, what, you know, people talk about, well, I need the range. It's a small island. You live on Oahu. No, you don't need the range. Like, and there are enough stations here to where you'll be just fine. Find a charger. Even if you have to plug in, like, with an extension cord and a, you know, 110 volt outlet, trickle charging, like, you do that overnight, you still got enough to do your commute with. Solve the problem of congestion. Yeah. I prefer electric cars to regular cars, but yeah, it's never going to solve the problem. But I'll be honest, one thing I've really enjoyed with Hawaii Bicycling League here is that we are working on that cycling advocacy to try and, you know, wean Honolulu and Oahu off of its car addiction, because that's the only way you're going to solve traffic. I've talked to locals about it and other coworkers about it, and they're like, you know, at first they're like, man, I hate all these cyclists. They filter at red lights and they cut ahead of me, and I'm like, consider this. If that cyclist wasn't doing that, he'd probably be in a car, which would make traffic even worse for you. I know it on a base level, it pisses you off, and it makes sense that it would, but the more cyclists you get on the road, the better traffic will be. You want more cyclists. So, you know, that's where I've been trying to kind of get you know, some of my coworkers and friends to that mindset. It's definitely, there's a case of car brain out here, but I'm very optimistic about how Hawaii is working towards that, especially because, like, people here, they do really care a lot about respecting the Aina, which is, you know, it's the land, right? It's a small island, there's very few resources, and you have to be very protective of them. Well, how do you do that? Well, not burning imported oil on an unnecessary automobile seems like a really good start to that. How do you do that? Well, cycling's probably the easiest way to do it. Plus, dude, my legs have never fucking looked better. Like, look at this shit, man. I've got like cuts on cuts on cuts on my legs. I have fucking tree trunks. It's because I bike everywhere. It's great. Yeah, there should be bike lanes everywhere. There are, okay, so if you live in actual, like, the locals call it the town. If you live in Honolulu proper, which I think I'm, like, just at the edge of what is considered Honolulu city limits. Don't want to dox myself, but if you live in, like, you know, Kaka'ako or Punch Bowl or the, you know, Chinatown, anywhere down there, you can get around with a bike. It's safe. There are loads of bike lanes. It's good, relatively speaking. And I think Hawaii drivers are actually a lot better than they give themselves credit for. I think they're pretty good. Having been to a lot of different states, I know where the actual best and worst drivers are, and Hawaii is nowhere near the top of the worst list. They're definitely better than Texas drivers. Definitely better than... shit, that dude's got a Dragon Warhammer. That thing's sick. Look at that bad boy. Look at that. He's got a... Look at that big old red mallet right there. He's got a Defender too. That is a sick getup. But you know, in general, I think the cycling it's pretty good in the town. The trouble is that there are also good bike paths to get around the rest of the leeward side, but they're just not quite connected. For instance, the Nimitz bike path connects right under the Interstate H1 from the intersection of Radford and Bougainville Drive near Pearl Harbor all the way to the Diamond Head side of the airport near Dillingham Road and Middle Street. It's a fantastic bike path. It's really, really nice, and I love cycling on it. The problem is that it isn't connected with the rest of Hawaii's network, and you either have to cycle along Dillingham Road, which is being torn up right now and is under immense amounts of construction to build the rail, which is really just, dude, it's bad enough to drive on a car in there. On a bike, dude, it hurts. Like, I've gotten racked in the nuts more times than I can count on that fucking thing. So it's not fun. Or you have to take the Nimitz. You have to go closer Mackay side and do the Nimitz road, which is 35 miles an hour, and there is no bike lane until you get to, I forget what the road is called. It's the road near the Costco. But either way, you have to go fairly far into Kalihi until another bike path appears. So that's not great. But you've got, it's just there are missing chunks that need to be fixed. And once they get fixed, it's going to be great. Another great example is the Kamehameha Highway, or Hawaii 99. It's got a bike lane from the Halawa Gate at the north end of Pearl Harbor, and it goes all the way down to the Makalapa Gate, which is great. Unfortunately, that bike lane, and just like a mile and a half north of that is the end of the Pearl Harbor bike path. Now, if the Navy were smart, they'd open up that gate and allow cyclists to take the Pearl Harbor bike path all the way to the Arizona Memorial Parkway. Then all you would need to do is add like 400 feet of bike lanes, and you'd have the ability to cycle all the way as far west as like Vaipahu or Evalak, all the way to the base without ever having to worry about interacting with cars. It would be fantastic. But because there's that missing chunk of about a mile and a half, nobody uses it for that. It's really sad. Also, I will admit, the Pearl Harbor bike path is super bumpy and could use a repave. Hopefully that happens soon. I don't think it will because everything runs on island time here. Very slow. Another interesting side effect, I've had, those thighs are looking good. Dude, they are. I am very happy with how, dude, one of my goals this year was to get back into cycling, and I have absolutely smashed that goal, to put it mildly. I'm going to have probably 3,000 to 5,000 miles on my bike before the year is up at this point, that's pretty good. I've had it for 6 weeks. I'm closing in on 700. Not to mention there's a great upcoming bike ride in September for Hawaii Bicycling League. It's like a century run. It's supposed to be great. I'm only doing the 50-mile ride just because I don't know. I don't feel like I'm quite ready for the century, but it'd be really cool. Average American drives 30 to 60 miles per day. I mean, I still go 10 to 15 on my bike and just live a little closer to your job. It's not that hard. I know that sounds flippant, but it's really not that hard. As far as my e-bike's concerned, it can go 28 miles an hour on the motor, and if I'm pedaling, I can get into the 30s. Fastest I've gone is like into the 40s, really, like going downhill. That's a body tally. I want that. Yeah, we're gonna have that. Body talismans are nice. Actually, yeah, we want that. Oh shit. Okay, need to just smith one of these. That'll happen real quick. Because we don't want it to despawn. There we go. And we'll take that. Yes, sir. Nice. Okay. What were we saying? Won't you be crushing a watermelon with those thighs? I probably could right now, but why would I want to waste food like that? But yeah, my e-bike is just fast enough. I wish I hadn't gone with a fat tire e-bike, just because it's not, the rear tire is already showing a fair amount of wear. And it'll last a few thousand miles, but I'm going to have to replace them fairly regularly. If I'd gone with a more road-oriented one, the ride wouldn't be as comfortable, but I wouldn't have to worry as much about, it'd be easier to replace. It is what it is. So you're not met with as much hostility when cycling in non-bike lanes like here in the States? No, mostly because the speeds are lower. So right, if I get on Kamehameha, it's a 35-mile-an-hour road, even though it says it's a highway. Obviously don't cycle on the interstates, but, most people are smart enough to figure that one out. Although last night, actually, for like half a mile, I had to get on the absolute outer edge of the H201 because I missed a turn, which that's on me. That's my own stupidity. I'm still figuring out, because I've only gone into town from here a couple times. I'm still trying to figure out how to do it from Fort Shafter. Getting in through the town is easy. but getting around Fort Shafter is kind of a bitch because it's a military installation and there isn't a ton of great infrastructure there. So that one's tough, but hard to live close to one's job when New York City is so expensive. Let's see. I mean, just 5 more followers for 2K. Oh, let's go. We're at 1995. Birth year, by the way. 1995, a very good year. I will have to say. But yeah, an e-bike that goes 60 miles an hour would be sweet because that means, yeah, I could take the interstates, but not worth it to me. Because at that point, it's a motorcycle and I have to get it registered and insured and all that. And also, you know, if you crash at 60 miles an hour, you better be wearing like a full suit of like motorcycling gear or you're gonna die. I don't really want to risk that. Do my Dualtron X Limited scooter on the highway. I really don't like doing that. Again, right? And everybody says, oh, with cyclists, the fatality rates or it's super unsafe. It's like, it's only as unsafe as you make it. If you cycle like, not an idiot, you're gonna be just fine. Do things with safety in mind. So I try to cycle really safely. I use hand turns. I wear a helmet. I have a high-vis jacket that I will probably start using in the shorter. Now, granted, it's Hawaii. There isn't that much in the way of differentiation between winter day length and summer day length, but it's like an hour or so, and it does affect when I commute. So I'm gonna wear a high-vis jacket then. I'm gonna have like my. Oh no, that one was a Mustang. Okay. Oh yes, we're all so impressed. Big peepee, big peepee. Anyway, it's stuff like that. I think motorcycles should behave like cars on the road. Should they get in the bike lanes or in between car lanes? I don't like helmets, but I'm required to wear one on base. So at that point, I might as well just wear it everywhere. How's the gym at the new place? It kicks ass. I can't wait to show y'all. That'll probably happen next week. North America needs to copy the Netherlands. Yeah, I'm wearing a helmet. Deal with it. I know it makes me look stupid. It's the risk ain't worth the reward there. As far as motorcycles behaving like cars, so Hawaii has legalized filtering. Filtering is at low or bumper to bumper speeds. You can go through the middle of lanes, but I think lane splitting is. I think it's actually a gray area as to whether or not lane splitting is legal or not. I don't believe in lane splitting. I think that's a bit on the unsafe side. I would say it should be legal, but if you're doing it and you're a motorcycle and you get hit by a car, who's at fault at that point? Probably the motorcycle. But filtering 100% should be legal. Because if it's bumper-to-bumper traffic, there is no safety risk in cruising along at 10 to 20 miles an hour in between cars. That's entirely safe, and frankly, all it really does, my favorite part, is that it pisses drivers off and makes them rethink their choices. There are a ton of traumatic brain injuries in the Netherlands. I mean, there are, but I still don't like helmet laws. Now, that's the other thing, right? I wear a helmet. I choose to wear a helmet, but it's my right. I should be the one who makes that choice. The government shouldn't tell me whether or not to wear a helmet, right? Because, okay, let's take that to its logical conclusion then. Who's the most at risk for traumatic brain injuries from falls, just from walking? Turns out there's a lot more of those than there are from cyclists, and it's old people. Should we require old people to wear helmets while they're walking? Of course not. That would be insane, right? It's the same line of thinking. I'm a huge fan of freedom and of liberty, right? But just because I should have the freedom to do something that's unsafe doesn't mean I will do something that's unsafe. We're grown-ups. We're adults. This is an adult society, and you should be allowed to make your own choices and live with the consequences of those choices. Much like the consequences of the Interstate Highways Act of 1956, which have been a disaster for American society. You knew it was coming. You knew I was going to find a way to sneak that in there. The second you heard consequences, it was all over. I hate when you're on a red line and some dude on a motorbike starts ziplining between cars to get to the front. Sailor. Okay, so Sailor, yes, I can understand from a base primal level why that would piss you off. It feels like he's cutting. But If the motorcyclist wasn't doing that, that means he'd be in line with all the other cars, backing traffic up even further, or worse, he'd choose to be in a car, which would back up traffic even further. So you trust me. I know it's so irritating to see a cyclist or a motorbike do that, but it's better for traffic that they do that. I promise you. Like I can prove that scientifically. It's a fluid mechanics problem. You want motorcyclists doing that as much as possible, and you want as many motorcyclists doing that as much as possible as there can be, because it makes it better for cars. I know it sounds counterintuitive, but it's not. Oh, that's what it is. Exclamation mark HW. That's what it is. It's like they should bite it like that. No, don't be a crab in a bucket. No. Bad Sailor Homo. Bad. No. That's crabs in a bucket mentality. That's animal brain. Don't listen to animal brain. Use human brain. Seriously, right? So, traffic is a measure of fluid mechanics, right? Cars on the highway or cars on a road can be thought of like cells in a blood vessel or like water in a tube, right? The limiting factor is how wide the tube is and how fat the water is. Or you get the idea, right? It's not a length problem, it's a width problem. So with cars, the more people you can fit in a section of width with narrower vehicles, the better off you are. This is how countries like Vietnam function. Vietnam is a country where people do not have the money to afford cars. So everybody uses bikes and scooters, and as a result, the incredibly dense cities like Ho Chi Minh City or like Hanoi are able to function because everybody gets around with a bike or a scooter there, which means, you know, on the same, let's say, 50-foot wide section of road, you can fit way more people in a given chunk of it. That's the difference. So I know it just from a base perspective, it pisses you off, but learn to conquer that instinct. Learn to think with human brain. Don't think with animal brain. TSM Cocherino, it's going great, dude. I'm just chilling here. Actually, it's almost 2 o'clock. We will probably... I will probably wrap this up because I need to go to the library. They've got some new books for me. I'm really excited. I've been reading through a lot of really great literature recently. Just finishing up on The Worldly Philosophers by Robert Heilbronner. This one, it's basically, it goes through all the major philosophers of economics over the years. It starts with Adam Smith, of course, the legend. Probably my favorite, and then to David Ricardo, Thomas Malthus, Karl Marx, John Stuart Mill, on to the more modern economists like Friedrich Hayek, John Maynard Keynes. You get the idea. I actually am quite a big fan of John Maynard Keynes. I know a lot of people, especially those who are more capitalist or right-wing economically, which is probably where I lean, hate on Keynes, and they shouldn't. What they should do is hate on the politicians who abuse Keynesian theory. Keynesian theory states that in times of economic disincentivization, in terms of recessions or depressions, the government should step in with stimulus money, to improve the economy. However, nobody ever listens to the second part of Keynes's argument, which is that when the economy is humming along and inflation's starting to tick up, sound familiar, the government should cut spending and raise taxes for the exact opposite effect, to keep inflation in check. What do you think the Biden administration hasn't been doing? Or the Trump administration, for that matter? Nobody ever likes the second half of Keynes's theories. I do. Unfortunately, finding a politician who has the fiscal sense to listen to that other part of Keynesian theory is very rare. That's why I'm actually a really big fan of Javier Milei, even though he's not a Keynesian, of course. Anyway, get that literature. I appreciate that. The other one I'm reading through is The Fountainhead by Ayn Rand. I actually have been enjoying it immensely so far. Just because I don't agree with objectivism as a philosophy doesn't mean I can't enjoy the literature that Ayn Rand wrote. I thought Anthem was a very good book, mostly because it inspired the incredible progressive rock song 2112. I really liked We the Living because it's an accurate portrayal of what life in Stalinist Russia was like, that is to say, miserable. Haven't finished Atlas Shrugged, didn't really care for it. I thought it was, I think it's a bit pie in the sky. I don't really think you know, I don't really think you'd see John Galt, that sort of Galt's Gulch society work quite as well as maybe a lot of minarchists or libertarians would think it would. Anarcho anything is a bad idea, and that includes anarcho capitalism. You do need a government for some items. I think there is a bit of maturity that comes with understanding nuance and balance, and that ideology cannot solve everything. But A Court of Thorns and Roses, no, I haven't. Brandon, excellent. Very nice to meet you. But yeah, by the way, that's not to say, again, I do not endorse objectivism in Ayn Rand's theory because, frankly, it's a bad one. More to the point, though, Ayn Rand is a massive hypocrite. She ended her life on welfare, of all things. So, you know, she squandered the money she made from her books, although her books really didn't get popular until the 1970s, which at that point I believe she passed away in the late 60s. So, you know, that's the point. But I understand her worldview. If you grew up in Stalinist Russia too, you would probably develop quite right-wing economic views because you had to suffer under that misery. That's not to say that she's correct, but that's to say that her worldview makes sense given her circumstances. Much in the same way that Karl Marx, Karl Marx was a loser. He cheated on his wife. He was an alcoholic. He was a terminal chain smoker. He was in terrible health. He never treated his body well. He deprived his children of things like heat to give them music lessons because he thought it more academically important. All sorts of other criticisms I can level at Karl Marx. However, Marx's theories were written in 1848 in England and in Germany, where the conditions of the Industrial Revolution were truly heinous. So if you saw 1800s era industrial capitalism, you'd probably be disgusted by it too and write with emotion against it. That's not to say I think Karl Marx is right. In fact, Karl Marx is probably more wrong than any other economic philosopher out there. But I can understand where his mind was at. I can understand his perspective because of where his background was from. It's one thing I really liked about this book. It talks a lot about those backgrounds. A couple other books I've been reading are Your Money or Your Life by Vicki Robin and Joe Dominguez. Highly recommend it. Cash Flow Quadrant by Robert Kiyosaki. It was a good book. I wouldn't necessarily say I recommend it. There's some. I like his theories on it being, the four quadrants. I think it's I, B, S, and E. So your employees, your self-employed, your investors, and your businessmen as the main four quadrants of the economy. I don't necessarily agree with a couple of other things he says, but. He was correct. He called runaway national debt. What he did not call correctly was the resulting economic problems that would come from it. We have not seen that, and it's partially because the United States economy has continued to be very productive and very high growth. So, Kiyosaki that was a good book. I've read I've read John Bogle's book, The Little Book of Common Sense Investing. Highly recommend that. John Bogle is a brilliant guy. And in general, anything, the Boglehead's Guide to Investing by Taylor Larimore, I've read that recently, very good as well. Really a lot of very good books. Jane Jacobs books. Oh yeah, no, I know about Jane Jacobs. Yeah, the original Urbanist tract. I've read Confessions of a Recovering Engineer by Chuck Marohn. Really enjoyed that, especially because it doesn't just offer the standard we need to tax everybody heavily to create a possibly inefficient government-based transit system. While in some instances that does work, you can't use that as a one-size-fits-all solution. Transit may work in some areas, and it may not work in others. It really depends on the circumstance and the situation, right? If you've got a town that's a lot more dense, yes, transit can work brilliantly. But if you've got a town that at present is already super sprawling and built out like the DFW metro area or like Phoenix, you have to think outside the box because just building a rail network may not necessarily convince people to use it over the highways. So you have to figure there's more to it than that. Again, in general, I'm very seldom the person who will point to an ideology and say this fixes all problems. My one exception to that is that the interstate highways. No, I've already said it once. I'm not going to say it again. Only thing I kind of respect Karl Marx on his take is his take on religion. I disagree with his take on religion profoundly as well. While religion has been used by the people at the top of the social pyramid to, hang on, I'm going to move the clothes real quick one more time. There we go. While religion has been used and abused by people at the top of social strata to ensure they stay at the top of social strata, you can't throw out the baby with the bathwater. Religion has also inspired people to many works of kind, charitable deeds that have often never been surpassed. I mean, take a look at people like Mother Teresa. You can say Mother Teresa had her own problems and foibles, and she did, sure. But the charity work done in her name and in other religious people's names cannot be understated. So I don't necessarily believe that religion is the opiate of the masses. Granted, I am Catholic, so I am religious. I believe there is a lot of good to be had in religion, even if it's not necessarily my religion. However, I think, again, the devil's in the details and nuances where it comes into play. Religious extremism, when you turn religion into ideology and into dogma, that's where you get into trouble. Much like everything else, situations require nuance and they require a balanced, level-headed approach. And if you rely, right, if your only tool is a hammer, everything looks like a nail. If your only tool is communism, if your only ideology is communism, everything's going to look like a class struggle. If your only ideology is religion, everything's going to look like a moral struggle. You get the point. You have to evolve. I don't want to sit here and come off as, Mr. Enlightened centrist. I get that that's really fucking insufferable. But you have to evolve beyond the idea or the notion of just one universal ideology applying to all shapes and sizes of problems, because it's just not how reality works. So that's, you get what I mean, right? There are lots and lots of, not a great example. Okay. You understand where I'm getting at, though. I mean, look, for instance there, Mikey, one of the biggest charitable contributors to the world in terms of feeding the hungry, in terms of clothing the homeless, in terms of providing people with nothing, that have nothing, with basic sustenance and shelter, like it or not, is the Catholic Church. Does that absolve the Catholic Church of all of its problems? Absolutely not. But there is something there about the spirit of Christ and about the spirit of the religion that inspires people to great things. There's a reason that there are saints. I mean, and take the great philosophers of given age, right? You've got Thomas Aquinas in the Middle Ages. You've got, the list goes on. The point here is that you can find value or merit in lots of different belief systems, but to tie yourself to one belief system exclusively is a bit like going to the grocery store and only ever buying rice. Look, rice is great, don't get me wrong, but if you're only living on rice, you're going to be missing out on some really great stuff. You should have a balanced ideology and a balanced mindset that is open to change. You have to be willing to accept that there will be times when you're wrong. I can count on plenty. And you have to understand that there's value in a lot of different ideas. That's where I'm coming at. Religion was a necessity for humanity to actually live in community, like a fail-safe or a necessary evil. See, I'm not sure that's true. I think you can have an atheistic. You can have it. There are societies that don't necessarily have a religion, so to speak. Moreover, in that they have there is philosophy. I think most societies are, there are general sets of rules, but I don't think a religion, so to speak, necessarily is a requirement for that. But I can see where you're getting at with that there, Sailor. Okay, it is. Chuck wrote a book about his traffic engineering. Yeah, it's called Confessions of a Recovering Engineer. His book, The Housing Trap. Yeah, Niam, check out Confessions of a Recovering Engineer. You'll like it. I was a big fan of that. Your pecs are pecking today. Appreciate that. I do think we're going to go ahead and call it quits here. I've just been sitting and smithing, but it's already 2 o'clock, and I have quite a lot of work to do in terms of I've got to go down to the library and pick up more books. Always so much fun doing that. Probably we'll pick up some command strips. Honestly, because that tape just looks so tacky, doesn't it? And I really love the American flag up there. I will probably get a Hawaii flag at some point just because I think it's really cool. I like the design, and I'm here now. I feel like I should. I'm a fan of having. Now, there's no state I can ever call myself from, per se. Texas would be the closest, but even then, you don't see me flying a state flag of Texas for a reason. I never did in South Carolina. I did fly the South Carolina state flag while I lived there, and similarly, I should do the same with the Hawaii flag here. Anyway, that's probably something I'm going to do coming up, but we're going to go ahead and I think that'll be it for us today. We're going to go ahead and log out. And we'll exit off of this. All right. Tape is giving frat. Yeah, it is giving frat vibes. No, when I say work, I mean, it's not really work. It's enjoyable. There's a few chores I need to get done. For instance, I need to turn in the little checklist to make sure, that there's not any massive problems with the apartment. Haven't done that. I need to meal plan. I need to finish. I need to budget because we're at the end of the month. I need to go finish my food comparator. That food comparator I put in the diet channel. It's a great tool, but I need to update it with all the Hawaii prices, which makes me want to cry. I can only do it for like a few minutes at a time because I'm like, oh God, oh, this hurts. Watch all the prices go up and watch like everything, all the bars turn from green to red. It's just like, no. So that's not fun, but I expected that. Sticker shock's a bitch. Enforcing boundaries between me and my employer. I'm a huge work-life balance advocate. I get pretty good work-life balance. In general, I'm doing pretty well on that. Man, my modeling director wants me to go down to Waikiki today. Oh, I don't want to do that. Come on. I really don't want to go down there. I have other shit to do. I don't know. We'll find out. I'm probably not going down there. I don't want to do it, put mildly. I've got to trade in my old phone and get the phone case for my new phone, which I will do fairly soon. Figure out for at least some different do not disturb focus modes. Oh, I have do not disturb mode on Android. It's not Apple that requires it. I could. It's just I'm feeling lazy and I don't feel like biking. But guys, let's go find someone to raid because I have not raided. I did not raid last time. So let's see if we can find someone. You got Plus Ultra Eddie. Oh, I have not raided Eddie in a minute, man. Let's go raid him. You say until next week. I may be able to stream tomorrow. I'm going to do my best. Did y'all enjoy this sort of give and take? I like the chatting stream. We will get workout streams back, I promise. I don't have the equipment yet. I gotta have my tripod. I gotta have my phone case. Eddie and Bull. Yeah, we're gonna raid Plus Ultra Eddie. Plus Ultra Eddie. Hopefully it works today. So it didn't work last time and it pissed me off. Yep, there it goes. Okay. So that's gonna be it. Thank you very much for the follows, everyone. Y'all, we are so close to 2,000. So if y'all can, tell a friend. I'd really love to get there. It'd just be kind of nice to finally cross that barrier. We are, I think, 5 to 2K. I think we're at 1,995 right now. So, Sailor, please tell your friends if you've got anybody. If y'all want more content, come hang out in the Discord. Until then, make good decisions. Those good decisions form your habits. Those habits form your values. And those values form an ethos. You be the guide start through the rough waters of life. Much love, y'all. Come in for the hug. Big hug. Raid ski. Did it not do it? There it goes. All right, YouTube, it's been fun. See you around.